West Side Story continues to be one of the most celebrated movies of the year. Now earning 7 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director Steven Spielberg, and Best Supporting Actress Ariana DeBose. Time hails Steven Spielberg's extraordinary West Side Story is a work of beauty. West Side Story, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. For your consideration in all categories, including Best Picture.
You're now listening to The Bradshaw Boys, a podcast where 3 relatively grown men binge the iconic HBO series Sex and the City. So dust off those DVDs and grab yourself a white wine or even a Cosmopolitan and settle in. Take it away, boys.
Welcome to Bradshaw Boys, a podcast where 3 guys are rewatching Sex and the City and lots of other things. I'm Cory Cavin.
I'm Kevin James Doyle.
My name is Jon Sieber.
And we're going to get to today's episode. A really, really great episode. It's also crazy because it is
2 years.
2 years.
It's a walk down memory lane.
It is a walk down. It's a horrifying walk down memory lane of where the world was 2 years ago.
Terrifying stroll down a lane full of awful memories.
It's a run down a pitch dark hallway, not knowing what's in front of
There's
you.
a tripwire. There's a tarantula that got out.
Yep.
Back when it was just...
There's a clown chasing you.
Oh, sorry. I just have a little cough.
Are you sure? This has been the worst 2 years to sneeze.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
If you've sneezed inside a mask on public transit, you automatically just feel tons of eyes on you. It's the worst.
I was making out with a girl and I sneezed and she was just like, whoa, I think you're going to give me COVID.
Is that a joke or is that real?
No, it was a bad joke.
It's like, that's insane and awesome. You've made out with a girl?
Yeah. Once or twice.
Dang.
I think 100.
What's it like?
Dude, I bet that's awesome.
What's it like?
It's fun.
Really?
It's honestly fun. It's always fun making out. Do you still have fun making out with Katie?
Absolutely. 100%.
Dude, making out is fucking
Dude,
awesome.
making out just gets
Making
better.
out's really great.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a fine wine.
Yeah, I'm
It
actually
just
tired of
ages.
making out with like people I don't love.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Just a light little topper. Yeah.
COVID. I'm lonely.
I want to feel.
I want to
feel.
It is better to make out. With
Actually,
people you love.
it's also awesome when it's just like straight up stranger. This hasn't happened in a long time, but there's like a few times in college and like when you're younger, you're like, who am I making out with?
Totally.
That's cool.
My aunt?
My aunt?
Sorry.
Dude, she's feeling lonely. She's divorced now, and she
she loves you in like a maternal way, but she still wants to make out with someone she loves too.
yeah, in a safe environment.
It's okay.
Cory's always been nice.
Oh my goodness. It's funny because we had a discussion earlier tonight about like keeping things on track. And even in these toppers, hey.
Kevin even got out a pegboard to.
I got a pegboard. Right next to us is the complete series, both movies, Candace Bushnell's new book. And you know what? That's been accomplished. You know what we're doing now? We just recorded our very first Patreon episode. We are doing movies. There's going to be main feed movies and join our movie club.
Yep.
Go to Patreon, join our movie club. That's where you can choose the next movie we're going to watch. We're going to have live shows and Zoom meetings. And
But I think that's our next thing.
Yeah.
We've done Sex and the City. We have completed it. We've consumed the entire canon. We are now moving on to romantic comedies, chick flicks, if you will. And we're going to watch them with the same analytical but humorous lens that we have with Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And someone actually came up to me at one of our live shows and they're like, I really appreciate that you all don't just shit on the things you're watching. And if you're new, that's not our MO. We're not watching this to make fun of it. We're watching them because they're good movies.
Right.
We want to learn. And we usually, I'd say 95% of the time, really enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. I'd say we're all, at least in an experience, we're all pretty much glass half full people.
Yeah.
We're like, well, hey, I like movies. I like TV shows.
Yeah.
And I like talking about them. So, yeah, we're always going to come at it with a critical eye, but an eye that we enjoyed the experience. That's what we want to do with these movies too.
Yeah.
And we're watching some of the best movies, some of the best rom-coms.
Yeah.
Name a few.
Well, the first one we're doing on Patreon is Clueless, which is, I would say it's a modern classic. Now it's like, when you think of classic movies, you think of like 70s or older, but it's like this is 1996, I think. But
I think it was 96, yeah.
I think Clueless is probably one of the most beloved movies. Of course, we're going to do When Harry Met Sally.
Yep.
Of course, we're going to do...
First main feed one is My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll be out on the main feed soon.
Giving Pop-Tart some love.
Yeah. And so far, we actually just did our first My Big Fat Greek Wedding episode, and it was really fun.
It was great. Also, we should say that that'll be a main feed one, meaning that it'll be here in sections. We're breaking the movies up kind of the way that we did the Sex and the City movies. But on the Patreon, the main feed movies will also be in the Patreon, but they'll have another element that we have not added before.
Do you know who's talking right now, listener? Do you know? Because a lot of times people are like, I don't know the difference between you or Cory.
Kevin or Cory.
Yeah. And when you say you or Cory, clearly that's me.
But the thing is, they don't know who said it.
Well, guess what? We have used all of the Patreon money.
And then some.
And
we are
then
now
some.
broke.
We built a studio.
That's
and we
right.
have cameras and we have lights and we have action. And we are going to be leveling up. So we have a full studio. So if you want to see what our fucking faces look like and you want to see our visual bits that we do, which are just a lot of like, you know, if John's making a good point, Cory and I will look at each other and make this
Pretend
face.
to masturbate. Yeah.
We do a lot of shadow puppets during the podcast.
And we don't do the ooh voice because we do the face.
We do the ooh face.
Usually when I'm talking, Kevin is pantomiming jerking off two. He's doing like a ski pole thing where he's jerking off two guys at the same time.
Yeah, and
double cocktail shaker.
Now you can finally see that live.
For a small fee on our
He's
Patreon.
doing simultaneous oral genital stimulation.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Who doesn't love that?
which I actually think the guys that I'm doing that to, they're having the greatest time of their life because they get to feel that and then hear your insightful take on things, you know?
I'm going to land the plane here. We are recording that right now. And so in the meantime, we wanted to re-release some of our hits, some of our most favorite episodes.
Yep.
This one, in all seriousness, was my favorite thing that I did in all of the pandemic. It's something that I'm very proud of, and I know you guys are as well. It's about a listener named Meg who was a doctor during COVID in New York City. We caught wind that she liked to listen to us when she walked home from work after a very serious day of taking care of sick people. She loved hearing jokes about Kevin jerking two guys off, listening to my voice.
Yeah.
And so to provide her with some laugh and some comfort, we got as many cast members of Sex and the City as we could to leave her a voicemail, and we dedicated this episode to her and to New York City that was suffering during the pandemic. So,
And I want to say it's something we're really proud of.
Yeah.
And this is not a brag, but it took us a lot of work, and I guess we just want to say thank you to all the cast members because we were able to like get all four of the ladies involved in this. And when Kim Cattrall dropped in on it, it was like when she gave us that voicemail, that was like a really special moment, and really, I don't know, it was just something that made the entire pod worth it.
Yeah, totally.
And it's amazing they were able to give us their time and their energy to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it's pretty wild to listen to it again and think that we are 2 years from there. It doesn't feel like it feels like a million years ago, and it also doesn't feel like it was that long ago. And it's just crazy to think where everything has gone since then. And so, thank you again to the cast and people that worked on the show. Michael Patrick King, it was a part of it too. Thank you to everyone for sending those, and we're glad that you can all hear this now. We felt so good to be a part of it.
Yep. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Welcome to the Bradshaw Boys, a podcast where three guys watch their way through Sex and the City for the first time ever. Mostly, I'm Cory Cavin.
I'm mostly Kevin James Doyle.
I certainly am Jon Sieber. And we're coming at you. We're back quarantined. What is this? Week 4?
I think this is the beginning of week 4.
The beginning
We
of
got-
week 4.
We got all our wires and our screens. We are digitally together. There's nary a lag because we're on that Zoom energy right now, huh?
That's
We are
right. We're zooming.
zoomed together.
We are
zooming.
We are zooming. Now, listen.
And you go for it, Kevin.
Listen. No. That was the lag's fault. John, go ahead first.
No, I insist.
This is a special episode. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
special episodes. We see the numbers. You all out there need to know that there are tens of thousands of you, and tens of thousands. There's hundreds of you that enjoy special episodes. There's there are literally tens of people that enjoy our March Bradness, our little tangents, our random
Oh, man.
episodes, and there are
We're
tens
still
of
gonna try our
thousands of you
hardest.
listening. And listen, we don't mind getting niche, and we like the 4 other people that like going niche with us. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, so this is a special
Yeah.
episode, and I think we're bringing our specialist energy that we could to our specialist episode. Is just what
Yeah.
I wanted to say. So
Yeah.
thanks for being here for this.
Thanks for being here for this specialist
Yes,
episode.
thanks for joining us.
And the specialist fans. Let's give a little context into what this specialist episode is. So we've been doing, we've done a ton of episodes, and we've been doing some quarantine Zoom episodes. We've been doing some live watch parties, but we got an email from a friend that we met at one of our live shows, who we also have done an episode with that is yet to come out. But it's coming out very soon. Her name is Anahita Musavian. And she is amazing. She works for the New York Post, and she sent us an email. And her email told us about a listener friend of hers who is doing an incredibly important job right now. And she listens to our podcast as she walks to work. She's a doctor in the COVID ICU at Presbyterian at Cornell in New York City, which is crazy that she's doing that work all the time right now.
For those of you that might be listening to this episode in the future, in 2021, if there is one, we're in the shit right now. We're in the thick of it. It is April 6th, 2020. We've been stuck inside, as we said, for 4 weeks, and we are, for all intents, we're helpless as civilians. We are stuck inside our homes, and there are heroes who are suiting up, and they are going out every single day to fight this thing and combat this thing. And Meg, you're one of those heroes.
Well, just one of the things that I think at first, when we first found out, like, you need to stay in, it was like, oh, it was sort of why. I was like, oh, so you don't catch this thing. Oh, okay, so you don't spread this thing. And then the more we started to learn, it's like the reason why you are staying inside is so that so many people don't get sick that it overloads our entire hospital and health system, and which is kind of where New York is almost at now. And so I think it stood out to us, especially when we're just sitting at home feeling like, okay, we're doing what we're supposed to do to help the medical professionals. We know like a few people that are out there. But when we got her email, I think it's made a very special impact on us, because we've done a few Zoom episodes and we're sort of like, okay, we're doing this. And she said specifically that she listens to our podcast as she is on her way to work there, and then on her way leaving her shift. She listens to it to bring some levity to her day. And it just like, it sort of hit me that I'm like, I don't need that much levity in my day. I just avoid the news. And
Did you ever think, Kevin, that you would be providing levity to someone walking into such a serious situation, talking about how horned up you are towards your mom? Did that ever cross your mind?
That's like, people say that if you go into any sort of work, like, you need to have a mission in life, and it seems like you've always known that's your mission. To just provide levity to people for talking about how horned up you are about everything.
I think there's been other times doing comedy that it's like, I'm just trying to provide some levity to someone's life, and they're like, Yeah, you need to get better at comedy before that ever happens. So far, you have just been inviting us to. You've been inconvenience us by inviting us to your shows, and we'd really rather spend our nights doing something else.
That's like Kevin and I end up doing a lot of charity comedy shows. And I wonder if at the end of them, some people are like, yeah, you could have just sent us the link to donate. We didn't have to sit through the hour and a half. Okay. It's fine.
Just in the future, let me know and I'll Venmo you the $20. I'd rather not see the performances.
I mean, Anahita never specified what she's actually getting a break from. Maybe she needs to go work in the ICU to get a break from listening to us ramble about a show we're ill-equipped to talk about.
She's like, they have this character named Ank, and they keep talking about him. And honestly, it makes me want to go save lives. Okay, because I walk across Central Park, I listen to this podcast, and I'm like, I can't handle this anymore. I got to go do some meaningful work.
Yeah, listening to three
show.
dudes just ramble for a while really makes me glad that I'm doing something important with my life. Because can I imagine what it would be like to be in this situation in the world and doing their job? Wow. Oh my goodness.
The crazy thing is they all went to college, they all work, and yet they do this with their free time.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
I became a doctor.
I think it's worth noting that we found out that Meg's husband is also an ER doctor. So their entire family
doctor,
is doing work so we can sit here and make dick jokes with each other. So that's incredible.
And in the most sincere way, right now we want to say that this entire episode is dedicated to Meg, who is a doctor who's in the thick of it doing what we are so thankful for here in New York City right now. It is horrific. All we hear is sirens from our windows all day. And every time I hear those, I remember when I was younger, my dad said anytime he heard a siren, anytime we would leave, he would like say a prayer for us because he'd be worried that like something happened to us. And I've been hearing these sirens and knowing it's not just a random siren anymore. These are people that are, on the precipice of life and death. And to know that you're going into the thick of that, Meg, like it just means the world to us, what you're doing with your life and with your time right now. And it means the most to our city. And so this is dedicated to Meg, and then also to all of the healthcare workers, nurses and doctors, and even the people that clean the medical devices. And like any person who's working in that field, if you're listening or if you know someone that does that, we're making this entire episode for you just to show our that we can't do anything but be thankful right now. And so sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts, it touched our heart when we heard about you. And so we wanted to do this for you, and we want to thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you are on the front lines, and we thank you for what you're doing. And yeah, we hope that this is entertaining, because this is what we were doing for you. Yeah. So, and we are making this for you, but we wanted to get some other people involved that are not just us, we can sit here and make our jokes as we do, but we were like, how cool would it be to have some other people? Because honestly, like, this is the kind of crazy thing about a pandemic like this, is it brings out, it truly does bring out thankfulness in everyone. And so there's a lot of other people that are thankful, and we just wanted to also play some other messages of other people that are thankful to all the other workers, and to you specifically, Meg. So before we get any further in the episode, let's hear from a few right now.
Hey, my name is Ben Weber, and I played Skipper on Sex and the City, which was a million years ago. But I'm so flattered that you are a fan of the show and of what we do. And I just want to take a minute to thank you for putting yourself on the line and being a first responder. I can't imagine a more difficult task in the world right now. And so I just want to stop and thank you, from the bottom of my heart, and just tell you how much your work means to us. And I am just blown away by the bravery and dedication. Thank you again. Meg.
Meg, it's Mario Cantone from Sex and the City. Can't thank you enough for doing what you're doing in the ICU unit at Cornell, working so hard and putting yourself out there. putting yourself in danger for all of us, for everybody. And I thank every single person working on the front lines during this pandemic. We need you. We're so grateful we have you. It's people like you that fix things, make things better, and actually have the balls to do all this and the knowledge. Thank you again. Please be safe, be careful. All my love.
Hey there, Meg. It's Willie Garson here, and from Sex and the City. I played Stanford. Thank you so much for your work. It's incredible what you guys are doing, and I know you guys don't often feel that way, that people are aware that you literally are saving lives left and right. But we are aware. I have a number of friends in New York, obviously working in the hospitals, and we're in Los Angeles now, and all my friends in the medical field are working 24 hours a day. Anyway, I love what you're doing, and I love you for doing it, and I love you for loving Sex and the City, and please share this with all of your friends who are working and colleagues who are working so hard. It means so much to you, to everyone. You guys are actually heroes. I don't know if you went into this to become a hero, but here we are, and you are one. And so we love you, and I'm glad you have us reaching out to you, because we would do it every day if you wanted us to. All right? I love you so much, and thank you for your work. Keep it up. And if you ever need a helping hand emotionally, please reach out again, and we'll get to you again, because you mean the world to us. All right. Cheers. Love you. Bye.
Hey, Meg. This is Dave Eichenberg, and I used to play Steve a long time ago. Hey, Miranda. Something like that it used to sound like. But these are just some kind words to you as you walk through the park. I used to walk across that park a lot thinking, and I know you're carrying a heavy load with all that you're going through and taking care of all of you, doctors and nurses and the healthcare workers and the people that are cleaning up and doing all so much and making a sacrifice and supplying care and love for the human condition. And we all admire you and send our love to you and our hope and wish you all the best. And we just want you to know that you are cared for as much as we can from places we are. And I'm in Chicago, stuck inside, but I'm trying to keep things easier on all of you. So be well. God bless.
Got to get the boys involved.
You got to get the guys involved.
Listen, it's nice to have three other men, say thank you to Meg rather than just the three of us. So
yeah,
thank you so much, Mario, Willie, and Ben.
Us, and then there's the trio of them. They started in the beginning of the show, and some of them go throughout the movies. We're not even to the movies yet.
Yeah,
so it's like they know better than us. They were from the beginning of the show, and then some of them went all the way through the end. Like they know a little better than us.
Listen,
and we all care the same.
We gotta when we need to. We haven't had Willie or Mario on the podcast, but when we put the call in, they were there. They said, "Hey, the boys said we need to show a little love to Meg. Where are they? They're right there for us. Okay, they understand what it is to be a Bradshaw boy.
Totally.
That's right. Absolutely.
I would say
they've been Bradshaw boys since 1999. They laid the groundwork.
That's right.
For it was like in Batman when it was in like Tim Allen's Santa Claus. We didn't choose to be Santa Claus. One day we just like opened up our closet and we saw it was like, I guess I'm a Bradshaw boy now. And it was sort of like a mantle we had to take on our shoulders.
Yeah, when we started this podcast, I was really hoping that you'd reference some Tim Allen movies. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Hey, from one wild hog to another, I just want to say.
Okay.
All right. I don't think so, Tim. Oh. Okay.
Hey, welcome to the Hogcast, ladies and gentlemen.
The definitive podcast where we watch wild hogs every night.
Listen,
dude, I'm totally in.
I will say this. that one thing that we had Meg's friend report back to us. We said, hey, is there anything that we could talk about that would be entertaining to her to us? And she was like, I find it really entertaining how little they know about the fashion. And I was like, all right, is there anything we can, that's just a thing we can continue to not talk about?
I mean, yeah, there's a thing called like negative comedy, when it's just like anti-comedy, where it's like, yeah, the funny thing is that they still don't know anything.
Yeah.
The joke is that they really just have zero knowledge about it. There's no joke there.
Well,
they really just don't know.
There is something I would love to talk about fashion-wise that Anahita brought to us, and those were the Judith Lieber purses.
Oh yeah. The Judith Lieber jeweled purses.
Yeah, I bought Carrie a Judith Lieber purse, I believe in season 2 as an apology.
I think it's when they go to that party that Carrie like wants to smoke inside at, and then she goes outside with that waiter, that cater waiter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where it is. But those purses that Anahita showed us are insane. Like the one that Carrie has in the show is pretty crazy. But the other Judith Lieber purses, they're insane. They're crazy. Like the ice cream cone, swan, all that stuff.
Holy mac.
The one on Anahita had was like, it looked like a camera. There's a hot dog.
Guess how much the hot dog is?
I don't know, but I will say for you listeners, we're recording on Zoom, and Kevin has the statue of David behind him. And you held up the hot dog in the perfect place in the statue of David. It was really serendipitous.
Background.
But my question for you guys is, what artifact or item that you have do you think would most closely represent you in a Judith Lieber purse?
Ooh, that's a
great
idea.
God, John, you always ask great questions.
I'm just trying to think of other.
Well, how about this? What if we pick one for each other? Because I think sometimes, like we've done this before, it's always better if you don't self-diagnose, if someone else diagnoses you. Like your friends really know you.
Okay, that's fair. So let's describe a Judith Lieber purse for each other.
I have one came to mind for me, but now I don't know. Is when you said diagnose that made me think of it.
Oh, well, yeah, I could say one for you then. Cotton gloves. Your cotton gloves?
What's this?
That you talked about wearing? Can we talk about that?
Secret single behavior?
No, it was. I think it was his SSB. It was Kevin's cotton gloves that he wore to bed at night after he'd moisturize his hands to keep his hands from being crackly and dry.
Yeah,
you know?
And right when I got him, this year was all about. I was like, this year my hands are not going to crack, and I made it through the whole winter. And then right at the end of winter, the world was like, you're gonna have to wash your hands 12 times a day. Fuck your plans. And I was like, all right, these are gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
So would mine
you
be
have to wash your hands more than you ever.
That wasn't yours.
I mean, that one could be. No, that wasn't what I picked.
If you wanted. Mine was going to be Tums for you, Corey. Just like a nice thing of Tums. Is that okay?
Because I always have heartburn. I mean, it's fine. You can pick whatever you want. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because looking at the hot dog thing, they're all like cheeky. They're like funny, colorful things. So I imagine that would be super colorful.
Mine for Corey was a rubber ducky because I know Corey loves taking baths, and so I think like a nice rubber ducky purse would be really good.
That's a great one because I like that you kind of zigzagged on it because you would think it's a bathtub, but no, you went the bath accessory.
I went bath accessory. Yeah, rubber ducky.
I've been getting back into baths during quarantine because what else are you going to do? I love that. Okay, so that's mine. John, this is tough. This is a real tough one.
I'm trying to think for Kevin, I think it would be like a really cool old like steampunky kind of record player with like that was open and like a little record could spin. Kevin's like really into music and the history of music. So I think like it would be really cool to have like almost one of those, what's the RCA like record player, the big microphone where the dog's looking into it. Like kind of like one of those.
Like a Victrola.
Ooh, yeah. I'm going to get a Victrola.
I think that'd be pretty cool for Kevin.
I think that's great.
I think when I almost kind of feel like for Kevin, it would be like an outfit that's like a Filson coat and some like nice jeans and some brown boots. It's like a little silhouette of a man that's dressed like a mountain man, but walking around a city.
Ooh.
Like,
I like that.
It's like it's a little outfit that's bejeweled, and it's like, this looks like it could be on a mountain, but it's just walk in and Park Slope.
It's just
And then
walking
a
to Park
zipper-
Slope with a cold brew.
To open
exactly.
it is a little zipper, like the zipper where the pants are. Is how do you get inside it?
Oh, yeah, you just go into the pants.
Make sure that top button's buttoned, though. Always.
Always button that top button.
John, I think
Always
yours
button.
would be a very slim clutch. So it would be because
They always say big eye, slim clutch. That's what they say.
Never lose.
Never lose.
I think yours would be a slim one, maybe almost like a small briefcase just to put cards in when you go to like a club or something. And it would just be a Costco membership card, bejeweled.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's
That's
great.
a great one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was thinking-
realistically, both Kevin and I could just probably use sunscreen because we're both extremely pale, and that, just a bottle of Beach Bum sunscreen.
I like that I seem to have fair skin, but I can actually like stay in the sun all day, but I like can't eat tomatoes without getting heartburn. I seem so tough, but then I'm not. Mine for you, John, would be like one of those really intricate things where it's a computer screen, and then on the computer screen is just a bejeweled WoW character, just a World of Warcraft guy.
Yep.
But then it's also got the little like text bubble that has like whatever your World of Warcraft screen name is, and all that is bejeweled.
That
And
would
then
be amazing.
You sort of unzip the screen and pull the screen down, and you go into the clutch that way. I think what yours
That's
would be.
great. I think we
It's
nailed.
very
I think we nailed them for everyone.
Those are pretty good. Those are Judith Lieber bags. I
Ooh,
like
also, what's that big coffee thing? Chemex. Corey, you could have a
Chemex.
Chemex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bejeweled Chemex would be great. That'd be amazing.
Something else that Meg was interested in is she'd love to know what our favorite drinks are. And she said one of her favorite scenes, and I don't think we've gotten it here yet, is where Miranda stress eats like a big cookie. Is that what she was eating?
Yeah, it's the Miranda I Love You cookie, which I was talking to Anahita, and I don't think we've gotten there yet. I was thinking it was when she stress eats the cake, like she eats the cake out of the garbage, but that's a different thing.
So my question would be, what have you all been stress eating? Because this is a pretty stressful time. And second, what is your favorite drink? What have we been drinking, boys?
Good one. Well, I think I've joined up on the.
But for stress eating, instead of just saying it, you have to say "I love you" and then whatever it is.
Okay.
Like that's the name of what you're stress eating.
What like if you're stress eating sandwiches, you have to say "I love you" sandwiches.
Okay, so I've joined in on the cooking and baking trend that a lot of I get, and maybe it's worldwide, but I know like in America, all these people are just like, I'm home now, I'm going to cook. And I made pasta from scratch.
Ooh.
And then I made orecchiette pasta, and then I made bread. So it would kind of be everything, but honestly, I have been stress eating I Love You bread.
I love you,
Because
bread.
I've gone through 2 different bread recipes. I needed 2 loaves. And then the other night, I sent Kevin a picture of it. I sent him these 2. Oh, it was when we all watched that movie on Zoom together, or we all did like a group movie. And then within one night, I'd eaten 3/4 of a loaf within literally like an hour and a half. And they were huge loaves.
I love you,
and
bread.
I finished off the rest of the bread today. It wasn't even a week. And I ate 2 full loaves. I love you, bread. That's what I'm stressing. And I guess my favorite drink is wine. I'm just
So good.
just crushing the wine. I've also crushing some Amaro, doing like a little bit of Amaro and soda water. If you want to like slow it down, real good.
Ooh.
Amaro, soda water, a little lemon, very good.
Are you ready to drop the culture down? Are you ready? Are you ready to
From
take?
hand making pasta and drinking Amaro down to.
I have been stress eating a lot of I Love You sour gummy worms.
Okay.
No shame on that at all.
There's just like occasionally it's like the end of the night and it's like I need not some like dark chocolate sugar. I need something that's just going to punch me in the face and tell my taste buds it's time for you to rock and roll. And then as far as drinking, there's this non-alcoholic beer because I gave up beer for Lent. And on Friday, I'm got my eye on a French Pinot Noir I'm going to be drinking because it's done on Friday. But some non-alcoholic beer that's very, very good. And it's been getting me through without giving me any of that hangover or buzzy buzz. And,
Love that.
And I've been drinking lots and lots of LaCroix as well.
That's great.
Johnny boy, what about you?
We've been drinking a lot of whiskey in this house. Cory, you actually introduced me to Weller whiskey.
Oh, so good.
It's been very good. We also got a big bottle of Buffalo Trace. So I've been doing a glass of whiskey here and there. Not a huge drinker, but I enjoy a nice whiskey to unwind in the evening. And as far as stress eating, I'm trying to keep it tight. I'm trying to keep my diet through this so I stay sane. So as cheesy as this is, mine's been I Love You Kirkland Signature Unsalted Mixed Nuts.
Ooh, yum.
That's a smart move. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, can we do
great.
I want to end with a question, but I want to do one contest before we do it. One is a lot of 2020 is not going exactly how we thought. Whatever plans we all had around the entire globe, they have now shifted. And so I think it's safe to say that in a way, the year 2020 has broken our hearts in many ways. And so I want us to do a Aiden, You Broke My Heart contest between the three of us. And so
Meg said that this was one of her favorite scenes. Like this scene in Sex and the City was like a huge thing for her, right?
Yeah.
She loved the scene.
Yeah, she loved the scene. And as she said, especially when he says, "You broke my heart," which I feel like that was very impactful for us as well. And so I think it's time for us to put on our drama goggles. And it's time for us to go in with our best "You Broke My Heart" Aiden impressions.
All right.
And I'll go first. And then we'll go around the horn, and then
Okay.
And then I don't know. Oh, you can all write in and say who wins the contest. How about that?
Let us know.
I'm Kevin Doyle, and this is my Aiden. You broke my heart.
That's tough.
That was tough.
That's
That was
tough. That's gonna be
very
tough to
natural.
beat.
All right. Do you want to go, John? You want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. Hi, my name's Cory Cavin, and I will be reading for the part of Aiden on Porch. Thank you. Here's my profile. Okay, great. Thank you. We're ready? Okay, here we go.
You broke my heart!
Wow.
I had a little more on there. I went up a little bit on that one.
Good.
Hey guys,
was
thanks for
good.
having me. My name is Jon Sieber. Couple things about me. I am the same size as John Corbett. So if this doesn't work out and you need me as a stunt double, I'm willing to work for a day rate for that. We also have the same size head, so wardrobe shouldn't be too challenging if there are any necklaces or hats that need to go around our head. I will now be performing You Broke My Heart from Sex and the City. You broke my heart!
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. That was so wow. If anybody would like to write in and just let us know who won the You Broke My Heart contest, we'd be thrilled to know.
Speaking of having our hearts broken, what about having our hearts filled? So
I would love to get my heart filled.
I will get ready. So we, as we were putting this together, we talked to some other people who wanted to do some stuff for Meg and who wanted to be a part of this. Let's just go to it. Meg, I hope you enjoy this.
Hey, John, you're a busy guy, right?
Cory, I consider myself a fairly busy guy with a new baby here and a hit podcast.
Yeah.
Like X, Y, and Me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are on X, Y, and Me multiple times in the morning, but you still want to eat, and you still want to eat good food, right?
You have to eat.
You got to eat good food. And that's why something like HelloFresh is so good and so convenient. You know, when you're with your co-host, Carrie, Che Diaz, and whatever character Bobby Lee plays, you got to have something like HelloFresh, you know?
I'll tell you why I like HelloFresh. It's the pre-portioned ingredients. You know, like when you have like a really weird, like a star anise and you don't want to buy like a large gallon-sized bottle of spice.
Nobody needs that.
HelloFresh sends you pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm fresh produce that arrives within a week, so you get all the convenience of delicious groceries without skimping on quality.
And we're also not just talking about boring food. We're talking about timeless classics and new hits. Things like a beef tenderloin and cheese fondue, a delicious meal that I'm sure Carrie was eating in Paris after she dumped Big's ashes off that bridge. I'm talking about miso shrimp and bacon ramen. Two great tastes that taste great together, all from HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/BradshawBoys16 and use the code BradshawBoys16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's BradshawBoys16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts from HelloFresh.
That's right. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
Hello, taters. Later, taters.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. With LinkedIn becoming #1 in B2B display advertising in the US, you've got a great advantage. With their tools, you can stand out against your competitors while nurturing customer relationships and growing your brand. So scale your marketing and grow your business with LinkedIn advertising. As a thank you to their customers for helping them grow 3 times faster than the competition, LinkedIn is offering a $100 credit on your next campaign. Just go to linkedin.com/marketing.
So we're here on the phone. It's Sunday morning, and we're here on the phone with Sarah Jessica Parker. So Sarah Jessica, how are you? Good to talk to you.
I'm well. Thank goodness. I'm really happy to know that you all are well and your families are well. And the same can be said here. We do have, as I mentioned, we have some close friends who are, have been positive, are in the midst of it now, who are rallying and better than they were. So we're seeing, we're seeing people get through it. It's scary. And so we're ever more so grateful that thus far, considering how close some of those people are to us and working colleagues, we feel enormously fortunate to all be well right now. But that doesn't change, I think, for all of us, how nervous making this time is. And it's a strange thing. Typically I'm sure you can sort of characterize this better, but typically when you're in a day-to-day of something, you become accustomed to it. And what I find so curious about this is that none of us are getting better at this process because there's just so much uncertainty all the time about it. Yeah. And there's no real answers right now. There's not any clarity about when it might end, when people will be better, how many more people will get sick. It's just such an unimaginably scary time. So I think I'm feeling like many people right now.
Yeah. It's wild to find yourself in I'm in my apartment. We're all in our apartments quarantined. And then just hearing, getting all the texts of friends from years past just being like, are you okay? Is the one. It's like a reminder that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like the hardest place going through it in New York City, in the entire country. And, and I think, so far it's just been breaking my heart for the people that are sick and hearing the sirens and just being helpless. Like usually there's this way that you can help in some way. And I think it's weird to just be in your apartment comfortable and physically, but emotionally and mentally just being like, what can I do and how can I help? And I think that's the thing that's been really difficult. And then also
I agree. And I'm glad that you brought it up because it's I've been wanting so much to talk about where to be helpful. There's because I feel like it's on so many people's minds. There is such urgent, immediate needs that should be met. And then there's long-term issues that we know are going to be really terrifying for lots of families in America. And I feel overwhelmed by all the immediate need and the urgency. And I've been trying so hard to find local nonprofits that are meeting the most urgent needs right now of all of our unemployed people in the service industry, from waiters to people who work at small bookstores to people at delis to the ushers in New York City, the theater, to the act. Like there's just a host of people, and it's so hard to know where to direct your efforts and your dollars. And I'm sure I'm like every American where I feel overwhelmed by the urgency.
Yeah.
So I keep asking people I respect who I know are in touch with nonprofits, like, where would you be sending money right now if you could send $1 or $5,000 or more? Like where? So I was thinking that, maybe you gentlemen and I could share our resources and maybe start a list for your listeners, of places we found that are doing really meaningful work. I don't know.
I think you're absolutely right in the way that the thing that is hard is that this is all, it's happening and developing at the same time. And so everyone's trying to figure out how do you keep yourself safe, and how do you keep others safe, and how do you care for others, and then how do you help these industries, and helping the industries is also helping people. And and trying to figure all that out at once is a dizzying task for not only people, but you can see like for our governments and everyone. And so it's something that I feel like everyone's trying to figure out as they go along, and everyone's making it up as they go along. But I think you're absolutely right that the other thing is just giving people something to do, because everyone's kind of wondering what they can do and how they can do it right now.
Yeah. And there's ways that are like, I was just thinking, supporting local businesses by supporting local businesses and taking, being patronizing a business to give to something else. I think there's like a whole supply chain of philanthropy that I sort of like still trying to figure out, like, we want our local businesses, we want our communities intact when we're on the other side of this. And if we can buy from them to give to somebody else, I don't know. It's so complex and it's so counterintuitive to see a need and not be able to walk out your door and address it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that I think leaves us at 6s and 7s is like, it's just, there's so much to be done. Which I guess brings us to the reason that we all got on the phone to begin with, which is needs being met by the uniquely qualified, heroic medical professional community.
Yes.
And one person in particular that I know you guys have some intel on.
Yeah, I think that's what makes us so thankful. My sister's a nurse, and we are friends with a number of doctors and nurses. And in all of the helplessness that we feel, it's sort of like so incredible to think the people that are putting on clothes and then going into work to save people's lives, knowing that like we're scared to leave because we might get this virus, and yet there are people that is exactly knowingly what they're doing to go in to help others. And so
they walk toward it every day. They run toward it. They literally run toward it every day. It's just, it's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah. And we got we got the message that we have a listener named Meg, and she is an ICU doctor, and she's working on the Upper East Side. And I don't know, it just hit home to us, like all of the hospitals that I ride past on my bike or walk past, and I'm thankful that I haven't had to go there to the hospital when I'm sick. And now I'm like, those are like every minute I'm thinking about those. And in New York City, hearing sirens and just thinking about all of the doctors and nurses that are leaving their apartments, going into the city, getting on the subway and going to save these lives. And just seeing the picture of one of our listeners, Meg, and then hearing just a little bit about her, I was like, that is her norm. Her norm is not in her bedroom being like, I'm going to get fit and do my jail workout because I can't go to the gym like I'm thinking about, it's like she's like working this past weekend. She works 3 12s, 3 12-hour shifts.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's, and it just gave me this overwhelming sense of like thankfulness and fear for them, and just, just being thankful that there are people out there that are doing the exact thing that we're wondering how to do, which is help. Like they're helping on a level that we could never.
For Meg, the thing that it's hard in moments like this is to try to summon adequate words to convey gratitude, appreciation, respect, admiration, awe. I'm inspired. I'm stunned. There is a sort of courage that is unfamiliar to me, you know, and it's a world I don't know. And I think for a lot of us, you know, if you're fortunate, you have a doctor in your life that you get to visit, hopefully regularly. And we count on them. We rely on them to give us answers and counsels. In times like this, it's an entirely different level of reliance. And the understanding that they have an obligation and their commitment to confronting something so terrifying and to just feel that is the only place they will be, should be, despite, you know, the lack of the resources that they need. You know, Meg, you and your colleagues, you know, at Cornell, but across the city, and as we mentioned earlier, all the boroughs. It's just what Meg is doing, what her colleagues are doing is, I don't think we ever imagined that we would be asking this of our medical community. And I don't know how to thank them enough. I don't know what else to do. One day I hope to, you know, return the favor. Not really. Can't do that. But just so touched by their commitment and the effort. And, you know, here at home, it makes a huge difference because the city has been hit so hard, slammed.
I was talking to my sister last night, and she finished work, and she was with her husband, and she put her son to sleep, and she was talking about how excited she was to watch certain things, and it was interesting to just think about the people that are going into it, like when they need to turn off and decompress. Right. And how we've been doing some like live streams on our Instagram and stuff, and the messages we've been getting of like all this, a little bit of calming in the midst of anxiety and it's like, I don't know, it makes you think about those people's lives that are going into the thick of it and being like, how can you give them a little relief? Like when they're not, they can't sit and dwell on this when they're outside the hospital, they need a chance to decompress. And like, I guess like in that sense, it's been like, all right, what is there anything, any way you can do to like let people be like, cool, it's your time to relax because you've been in the thick of it. And I pulled up the email that I got from Anahita, and she said that one of Meg's favorite moments in the show is when Carrie and Aiden are upstate and Carrie's trying to cook a pie or something. So so I just wanted to just because she was like, and then she said like she can't handle being upstate. So in your seclusion, have you been cooking anything? This is me shoehorning like.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? We have 3 kids. All we do is cook. And,
really?
And we're a family that cooks anyway. It's, you know, much to the sometimes chagrin of our children. They're like, you know, all of our friends order in, meaning like in regular times. We just have not been an order in family because we cook and we like to cook. We're trying to be thoughtful about how frequently we go to the grocery store and what other people's needs are. You know, we're eating everything in the house, meaning we're being really thoughtful about how we shop and what we really need versus what we typically want. But there's been a lot about it that's been really good too. And the kids are cooking too. So we have some help.
Before we get off the phone, I say my wife who does the voice for the show, I just wanted to say hi.
Oh yeah,
Jessica Parker. Thank you.
Hi.
You're amazing.
Thank you, Katie. It's nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. I have to tell you that I'm an actor as well, and whenever I would go to theater contract, like the first couple of days would always be kind of lonely, and I would always watch Sex and the City because I would be like, oh, these are my pals. And that was always a source of comfort for me. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I wish you the best of luck. And
we watched The Family Stone recently on the podcast. And there's the whole scene of you with the, like, it seems like the cooking thing has made it into other parts of even like movies you've been in.
She's bad too, right?
Did she
make some kind of Swedish casserole?
It's like a Swedish casserole, like a noodle kugel or something like that. It's some sort of breakfast casserole. What is it, Katie?
Breakfast casserole, yeah.
It's a breakfast casserole. Yes.
Yeah, but
And
he
then,
puts the mushrooms in.
yes.
By the way, sounds delicious
Yeah.
right now.
Well, because there is something about cooking that I think is interesting and therapeutic to people right now.
What we've been making is, let's see, I'm trying to think. We literally use what we have. So if we have 2 bags of spinach, then so we make everything. Matthew made a beautiful bolognese, but it's just because we had some ground beef, we had some carrots. We didn't have a lot of carrots. Like we have 1 carrot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we make a bunch of, we cook every day. But we're not like we're grateful. Like every night we're like, thank you. We have a meal. My son is like, you and Papa are obsessed with talking about dinner. You're obsessed. He's like, no other family feels the need to do this every night in this way. And I think honestly, and he's like, I'm so grateful. But I think honestly right now, we're so grateful we can put together a meal.
Yeah.
We are sincerely, so we make whatever. Like we'll have leftovers. We know we're going to have leftovers for the next 2 days. And now it's like much more about, perfunctory, like a meal needs to be made.
Sure.
What is the practicality of like, what do we have? What's available?
Mm-hmm.
What are we not taking from somebody else?
Mm.
It's been good for us.
Yeah.
It's good for us in
I
some
had
strange way.
a can of Goya pink beans that have been in my cupboard for probably like a year, and I'm like, I'm finally going to use these now.
Yeah.
Our family always has Goya pink beans in the house.
Yeah.
We eat so many Goya pink beans on a regular basis. That is one thing we had a lot of because we love the Goya black beans.
Oh, those are
Goya
great.
pink beans with the spices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Oh yes, I know. It's the red label.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I know it well.
It's so great.
Let me back to Meg's delight at watching Carrie try to cook in the country. I am a much more comfortable. I cook all the time, so I love to cook. It does not feel foreign or unpleasant to me. I think that was a Michael Patch. Isn't that Country Mouse or something like that episode?
Yeah,
I think so,
that's the one. Yeah, that's when you go to Suffering with Aiden. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I think doesn't Big come up and there's a fight in the.
Oh, there's the mud wrestling basketball scene eventually.
Right.
That happens when you go outside and break up the fight of them. Yeah.
That's right.
One of our favorite scenes.
Halloween costume.
Yeah, the 3 of us dressed up. All right, I dressed up as Big, John dressed up as Aiden, and Kevin dressed up as Steve, and we brought Steve into the mix because Steve's such a basketball fan. So.
Oh, that's right. He plays b-ball.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Shoots
God.
hoops. Thank you so much for talking with us, and also, we extend it to the same thing to Meg and everyone else that's out there helping, and to people that are still, people working in grocery stores, people working in the essential businesses that are keeping it going, so we extend this to everyone and want to say thank you to them, and thank you so much to Meg for doing what you're doing and everyone you're working with. And Sarah Jessica, thank you to you too, and everyone in the Sex and the City family for really coming together through this.
Please tell all your listeners, I hope they're well and safe and have what they need. And that's the thing too, is like, I'm like, does everybody have what they need? Of course they don't. There's millions of Americans that are now out of work. And I'm sure there are listeners of yours that are one of the many millions who have been furloughed or let go or lost all their, health benefits, their health insurance. Like I want people to know I'm aware of it, and it kills me. It's killing me. It's breaking my heart. And I just don't want anyone to think that we're not aware, that we're forgetting beyond the sick, the collateral damage. And I just want to send my best to your listeners.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that I feel like we can, in all of ourselves, encourage thankfulness, and we'll make sure that as part of this we try and make some tangible ways that our listeners can help and reach out and vice versa. And
if you need anything else, you guys just let me know. Stay in touch and please be safe.
Thank you.
Be well.
You too. Thanks, Sarah Jessica. Bye-bye.
Pleasure. Bye.
Thank you, Sarah Jessica. That was incredible to get to talk to you, and also just it was amazing to get to talk to a fellow. Like, obviously, we're always starstruck by her, but also just the kindness with which to have a normal conversation on a Sunday and feel like we all share the same space. We're all living in the same city, breathing the same air, fearing the same fears right now. And it was awesome. Just the moments that she was like, "How are you all doing?" And it was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah.
I'm, not as great as usual. Thanks for asking. Like, it really, really meant a lot to get to talk to her about that. And also to think about, I don't know what you guys think, but to think about how daunting everything feels and think about where the local needs are in my neighborhood and even amongst my friend group, even amongst like the businesses in my area, to start getting my mind thinking of like, how can I help my friends, my family in Park Slope and around me? Because it's just so daunting to think about how to fix any of this, but there's a start.
Yeah, there is. And I think, the things that she had said, just thinking of like how this is going to impact people, even people that are healthy now. This will impact things in the future so much. And we are going to put these links up on our Instagram. If you go to our link in our bio, there's a link tree there that's got a bunch of different links. We'll put these on there. But some of the ones that she was talking about, just to reiterate, is bookshop.org. That's a great place to buy books right now that supports local bookshops. There's some great local bookshops on the Upper West Side and all over New York and in the Village. And speaking of the Upper West Side, there is the West Side Campaign Against Hunger that she was talking about. That is, we'll put that up there. They're doing things for New York, for food pantries. And then there's also, the World Central Kitchen that she also talked about. And they're doing a thing called #Chefs for America. They're delivering fresh meals to people. They're helping out restaurants. They're feeding healthcare workers, which is hugely important right now. So we'll put those links up. And also, if there's just a place in your neighborhood, whether you're in New York or you're in another part of the country, find out ways that you can support restaurants or businesses there if they're closed and they can't be working, because where you're at is that's one of the most important places, is your local place.
Yeah. Well, I hopefully this was a little bit of lightness for Meg. Meg, I really hope that you enjoyed this show that we put together. There's a little bit of laughs, a little bit of nice touches from several cast members reaching out to say thank you. You deserve it all. But there are a few other people that want to say thanks. And so we'll let them hop in here and say thank you as well.
Hi, this is Cynthia Nixon, sometimes known as Miranda. I'm just reaching out to say thank you to Meg at Weill Cornell. I know how amazing your hospital is. You saved my mother's life when she had a heart attack in 2001. Thank you so much for what you are doing. I hear your husband is also an ER doctor. You're just our heroes right now, and please stay safe, and just thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Hi, Meg. It's Kristin Davis. I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you were doing. We know it's really difficult, and it means so much to all of us that you're on the front lines. And thank you for watching Sex and the City. We're happy to bring you some joy. Keep on working hard. We're thinking about you. Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Meg. It's Kim Cattrall. I'm just calling to say thank you. Thank you for all you do on the front lines of what we're all going through, this horrific pandemic. Without you, we couldn't keep going. I'm so glad to hear that we put a smile on your face as you walk across the park and get on that front line. We're with you. We love you. We can't do it without you.
Oh my goodness. I can't.
Wow.
That was.
So that's all that's the four gals.
That's
the four gals
from Sex and the City, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. They were on, like, all of them have had fantastic acting careers. They've been in a lot of shows, but yes, they all were on Sex and the City.
Yes. I will say this, that they're professionals, so they weren't eating while they recorded their messages. But I did think of this as a chat and chew on our podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a Meg-centered chat and chew.
They were just
chat and chew where they were all like, you know what I want to talk about is Meg and the great work she's doing right now. We want to say thank you to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What location do you...
I was going to do a chat and chew. I'm having relationship problems, but enough about Big and Aiden. I wanted to say how actually great my doctors. I went into this hospital and I got the best care from this doctor named Meg. And then Miranda comes in and
she's like, did you know that her husband is also an ER doctor? They are doing some amazing work right now.
And then
they need to be celebrated.
Steve knocks on the window holding up a sign that he got from the Knicks game.
Like, hey, Meg, it's so crazy right now because, you know, I was down in I'm trying to play basketball with a mask on, you know, because I'm trying to social distance. And we've talked about this before, but zone defense is the best one right now because you don't want to play man-to-man too close, you know, because you got to look out for other people. But I just got to say, Meg is doing a fantastic job. I had to go in there because I tweaked my ankle. I jammed my finger, you know, because I hit the post too hard. Anyway, Meg's great. All right, you guys have a good chat and chew. Goodbye.
Meg, I truly hope this brought you some joy. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for everyone who's listened. I truly believe this was a love letter to New York City. I mean, they say Sex and the City is about the four women, their friendships, and the city is the fifth character. And New York is struggling right now. We're weak and wounded, but we will bounce back. We will prevail. We will beat this thing and put it behind us and come out more triumphant, more fabulous than ever before. And all of that is because people like you, Meg, and your husband, and the incredible work that you do. So thank you for repairing New York City, and thank you for bringing it back stronger and better than ever.
Hey, Meg, and everyone else doing such amazing first responders work to our people in New York City. This is Michael Patrick King of Sex and the City saying thank you, thank you, thank you. As Carrie Bradshaw herself would say, just like that, there were heroes everywhere.